Everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the flea market. Here we are back at the flea market again. This flea market just offers so much as far as inventory, just cool stuff, just regular shopping too. I do periodically pick up bread and veggies from here. Actually, there's I think I've talked about this before, but there's a really great bread guy here. The bread is just really delicious. I usually get those long, look like long torpedoes, long loaves. Those are some of my favorite. But at the end of this video, it's going to be a long one. I might shorten it a little bit as I'm here doing my voiceover. But I probably won't do any topics or anything. At the end of the video, we'll just do a recap of actually what I got to resell, and but I'll be discussing my thoughts and everything as the video goes along here, because it's about a 1-hour video here at the flea market, and I probably spent just a little over an hour, probably like an hour, and I didn't film everything, like when I'm walking, just walking around from booth to booth. Generally, I'll film the beginning as I'm walking in and what I'm seeing as I'm approaching. I don't usually purchase too much right off the bat here in the front. And I think I've discussed that before. Is the vendors that are usually towards the front of the flea market tend to be higher priced. So I can't really the prices they charge probably closer to what eBay would pay, and some of the stuff just isn't really even worth it. Worth reselling. So I typically just want to kind of quickly scan through what's around here, just see what's going on, see if I spot anything cool, unusual, and then move on to the other side. Coming back over here, we're going to go around this we'll walk down this aisle first here. A lot of stuff. I mean, this guy over here to the left with all these tables and everything right here spilled out into the walkway. This guy brings a lot of stuff. Now, I typically do not go through. I mean, I have gone through his through his tables before, but he does a really good job of sorting through everything. And he knows what he has. He knows all. I mean, even though it looks like they're there's just this crazy amount of stuff, he knows what he has on those tables, and he's already gone through it all and pulled out most of the stuff that already has quite a bit of value. And he'll have sometimes a table in the back with the more valuable stuff. He'll bring it on Sundays, which are your higher traffic days here at the flea market. So you'll get a lot more buyers and a lot more people that may want to pay the higher prices. So I don't usually go through the stuff that he has on the tables, just because of that, and also the stuff I've pulled from him in the past. Well, it is good stuff; it just doesn't sell, and so I just I'll glance at what he has, but then kind of move on. He does have just a crazy amount of DVDs. So if I'm looking for a movie or something, I will go through his tables and look through his DVDs and see what he has. And his DVDs are priced incredibly fair. I think it's $1. I think it's 2 for $1 on the DVDs. So if I'm looking for something, I'll go through the DVDs. If I'm not really looking for something, which is most of the time, going through the DVDs, I'll just kind of glance over his table, see if I always say this all the time, is see if there's anything that'll draw me in. This is a Thursday, so if you'll notice, this is one of the vendors where I buy a lot of purses from. You'll notice on Thursdays, because it is a higher traffic day, kind of watching this guy over here. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure it's just a BB gun, but he's kind of testing it out there, and that's a little dangerous with people with people out and about. Yeah, it's either a BB gun or a pellet gun, and you don't want to be testing that out with all these people around. There might accidentally be something in there, so I'm keeping my eye on him right here. and I'm hoping he's not pointing in my direction. But like I was saying, I buy a lot of purses from this vendor here. So during the higher traffic days, Thursdays and the weekends, this stuff that she has out here in the front area, will typically be on the floors. And generally it won't be like the higher end stuff. As you can see, there's this Osprey backpack here, which I'm trying to I haven't bought an Osprey backpack in a while, so I'm taking a look, see what the comps look like. They look good. Ultimately, there's a rip in it. I don't notice it towards the end, so I decided not to take it. But everything's on tables. So the higher traffic days, they'll have everything on tables. The low traffic days, they'll just have everything on the floors. And generally, when they have them on the floors, it's around $1 an item. Up here, the prices, when they're on the tables, the prices are more, you have to, you'll take everything over there, or you'll ask, and she'll shoot you out a price. But, she's very fair. Great stuff. I mean, she gets great stuff. I buy such great stuff from her all the time. And, no complaints, I think I mentioned this in the previous flea market video, but they're out here trying to make a living as well, too. And I'm also trying to look for profit on these tables. They obviously got this stuff at a lower price than what I'm paying for it. But they're still trying to make a living, too, so... And I can't imagine the amount of work. Well, actually, I can't imagine the amount of work just to bring the stuff here to the flea market. Every day they're here. They're here. They're not here on Wednesdays. They're here Thursday, Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays. So, just the amount of work to bring all this stuff in, set up all those tables. I mean, that's a lot of work. And, the old saying, "Time is money." I don't really, I don't know. I don't particularly care for that statement, but a lot of people say it. Time is money. So, all right, we made our way back to the purses. There's a hobo purse, nice condition. Don't sleep on hobo purses. It's not a brand that people necessarily treat as incredibly valuable, but it is. I mean, it does have value. It's not incredibly valuable, but it has good value, resale value too. Here's a vintage Coach purse. And I bought and sold these. I gotta make sure I say bought and sold, because I tend to, I don't know why, but for some bizarre reason I start to blend words, or and it'll sound like I say bought in, which I don't think bought in is a word, but I gotta slow down when I'm talking. I've bought and sold those vintage Coach purses before, and they do incredibly well. I have to, do some more research on the exact model that I pulled, but probably based on, what I've sold it for in the past, anywhere between $60 to $100 for that purse. Some wallets, lots of wallets here. And you're going to hear me say it again, especially because if there's any new people here, I like selling wallets. This is a hobo wallet. Oh man, I'm getting that for sure. But I like buying and selling wallets. It's just so easy. The wallets I like to pull, I'm gonna be listed value anywhere between $20 on up, and you just throw it in a bubble mailer. If it's if it's a little higher end, I'll throw it in a bubble mailer and send it off. But some of them just put it in a poly bag and it's off and in the mail. There's really no risk of damage. I mean, so maybe the buttons might get damaged in transport, but there's really no risk in damage. The only time I really ever had a problem with an item going in a poly bag was one going overseas to Australia, and the bag just got... The guy sent me a picture. The bag looked like it got clawed open by a bear or something. I was like, gee, holy cow. But for the most part, no issues on stuff that I send off in the mail through poly bag. And then, the bubble poly bag for extra protection. And some of these will even fit in a very, like some of the wallets and stuff will fit in a small bubble poly bag, which doesn't really cost that much more than just a standard non-bubble poly bag. So like a penny more is what it cost me. And in my previous video, I included a some shipping tutorials. I do have a shipping channel. It'll be linked down below. I haven't really been posting there that much. And one of the main issues is I've been getting a lot of orders lately. My listed inventory is going down. Yes, I have been a little lazy and only been posting about 10 items a day, but I've had a lot more than 10 selling. So, you know, when you have more that's selling than you're actually listing, what you have in inventory starts to dip. So it's getting low. It's getting down to about 1,800 items. And I generally like to keep it around 2,000, so I gotta really buckle down and list. And it's not that I don't have any inventory to list, it's just, yeah, I'm lazy. I've just been feeling a little lazy as of late, and I think we all feel that. You know, we're getting close to the end of the year. There's a lot of stuff going on, you know, it's Halloween's coming up, there's birthdays coming up for me. So, but you know, this is what reselling is all about. You can go at your own pace. You know, if you're, you know, busy, if you got things to do, family things to do, you can definitely slow down. You can slow down, you can speed up, you know, you can go at your own pace. But, yeah, the flea market is one thing, you know, I try not to miss too many days here coming to the flea market, and I've really stepped up my flea market buying because Goodwill hasn't been that great as far as products to resell, higher prices. So I've really been doubling up my efforts here at the flea market. You'll see a lot more flea market videos coming out, and from this flea market. So this is just a great flea market to come to. There are other flea markets in my area, but this, I mean, they really don't compare to this flea market as far as price goes, as far as quality of items go. I know a couple other, you know, YouTubers here, they go up to the Oakland flea market, and that's a bit of a drive for me. That's about, I have to get up pretty early, probably about, depending on traffic, you know, if I would go, I'd have to go in the morning, so that would be like rush hour traffic, so maybe an hour 20 minutes to get up there, when I can just drive. Now, this is like about, with all the lights, maybe about 12 minutes from the house, so much rather come here. Lululemon backpack, and I was debating whether to pick this up. I had a Lululemon backpack, and it took such a long time to sell. I had a Lululemon gym bag, and it just took such a long time to sell. You know, with offers open, and so I'm like, yeah, you know, with that in the back of my mind, I'm gonna leave it behind. I just didn't feel. I really just don't want items sitting around, especially an item like a Lululemon, where I'm probably going to pay up a little bit for it.
How much on this one?
I really don't want that money tied up too much.
40? Okay, I'll think about it. 40? Okay.
But, you know, Lululemon, it should sell quickly.
Really nice.
You know, and
yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
I price generally right around what the average market price should be, and then I have offers open, so anyone can always send me an offer. But it just took way too long, and I didn't like that. I don't like that an item that is really popular, garners lots of attention, and it wasn't like it was getting any views. It had watchers, it had a lot of views, it had watchers. It just sat there, so that's why I end up not picking up that Lululemon. Either way, you know, I go over with the you know, with the vendor there, and obviously we negotiate a price, and it's always fair. I really rarely do I actually have to ask for anything a little bit lower, but even if I do, it's like maybe by $5 or so, not very much. So what I thought were maybe PlayStation games, but a mixture of different ones. I think I discussed in a video too about video games. You know, I'm just not as comfortable buying and selling video games. Even though, you know, I grew up in the 80s, I grew up in the 90s, I grew up in the early 2000s, but I went from the regular Nintendo NES, the original. I went from Atari, Nintendo NES, Sega Genesis, and then straight to PC gaming after that. So I've never had an N64, never had a GameCube, PlayStation 2, or the original PlayStation for that matter. The only other console I did end up buying was a Xbox 360. And that was because some Star Wars games were coming out on it that were only coming out on that. So I bought it. And I only played the Star Wars games on it. Otherwise, it just sat there. And I think I gave it to my nephew after that, because yeah, I'm a PC gamer. That's what I am. That's why, you know, that's one of the things why I buy a lot of PC parts, computer parts. As a matter of fact, you'll see me buy some computer parts in here. That's what I'm familiar with. And that's what I like and enjoy. I enjoy testing them. It takes effort to test them. You gotta have the proper equipment at home to test them. But you know, I've had all that stuff. This, I don't know what it is. It's in a box, some sort of Samsung. I don't know. I'm just gonna pass it up. I know it's probably gonna be a bit of a higher price. The vendor here does charge a little bit more, but he's negotiable. See, there I go again. I have bought a lot of items from him, so real nice guy. He's here all the time, almost all the time, I should say. This is a little, like it's not an extender. It's if I'm remembering correctly, it's an access point, like AP. And what you do here is, with this device, you would extend your wireless network out from a switch. And I mean, you could do it from a router too. But all you would do is you would run an Ethernet cord to the back. And I think it's even powered by Ethernet. And you would plug it in. It'll give you your wireless internet connection to the wireless network. Therefore, you should have a connection to the internet for that. And I think it also has multiple ports underneath it. I'm going to look it up really quick, just because Aruba Networks, it is a good one. I've had some trouble with these in the past and not able to get them working. These power over Ethernet ones. So I'm going to double check it, just see what it's worth. But ultimately, I'm going to put it back. I just don't want the headache of having to deal with it. Alright, we're moving on down the line. It is a Thursday, so I am definitely going to check out other vendors, but I want to hit the major vendors that I know I buy from regularly. I say this in other videos. As you start going to flea markets, I mean, even I would say this kind of translates to Goodwill in a way that you just start visiting the same aisles all the time. But at the flea market, you'll start to learn who brings good stuff, whose prices are, negotiable, whose prices fall in line with what you want to make for profit online on eBay or Poshmark or wherever. So that's where I'm targeting. I'm targeting the vendors. That's where I'm going to spend my money. Before I blow my money, before I start blowing the cash that I brought, I want to see the people that I buy from regularly. So that way I can ensure that I have merchandise to put on eBay. Also, too, because a lot of the vendors I deal with, they're nice. They know I sell on eBay, so they offer me a good price, or They're just negotiable. I would much rather give them my money than, you know, other people that maybe aren't necessarily negotiable or I don't know, what's the word? Not nice people, I guess. There are not nice people here, but it's very, very few of them are. You know, I've been kicking myself that I didn't buy this set while I was here that day. In the back of my mind, I was like, you know, I'll probably be able to buy it. It's a newer set. I should be able to find it out there. And you know what? I haven't seen it at Target. So I'm like, oh my god, probably might be on Barnes and Noble, or I haven't made my way to the Lego store as of late. But I do want to get that set. It's from the Ahsoka series, and I should have probably bought it while I was there, but I didn't. Again, I didn't want to spend all the cash I had on me. I think he wanted $60, which is a good price for it. I didn't want to spend all my cash on me before I spent my money on merchandise for eBay and or Poshmark. So Poshmark, we are beginning to repurchase shoes again. We're going to be really picky on what shoes we buy, and shoes are going to go on Poshmark. So, and I'm going to have my son run the Poshmark store. So he's going to keep an eye on it. He's going to run it. He wants to make extra money. So we'll run my Poshmark and keep it going. All right. This is, I believe I mentioned this before, but that's an Amazon Fire tablet. And I purchased a whole bunch of these not too long ago. And they all sold very fast. And they all sold for around, I think the average sales price was around 45 or 50 bucks. That one appears to have not, the box was open, but it appears that the actual tablet was not removed from the plastic on the inside. And so I'm gonna, you know what's fun? Okay, so I'm gonna sell that. It's probably gonna be about 40 bucks for that Amazon tablet. I'm definitely gonna take it. What's kind of funny is this Hello Kitty box. I saw this at a Goodwill not too long ago, and it's here now. It's kind of odd. I do know some of these vendors, they do go over to the Goodwill bins, and they just buy up a lot of stuff and bring it over here. So I'm wondering if that ended up at the bins at some point. Kind of odd. It could have been found in a storage locker. Which this vendor here, she buys a lot from storage lockers. She buys a lot of storage lockers, so big storage locker buyer. And I'm always amazed at how much. I mean, all this stuff. Like, if you come the next day, they'll have completely new stuff. It's amazing how they work. So. And one of the things too at the flea markets, if you stay towards the latter part of the flea market day, and here I think they have to be, all the vendors have to be out here, if I remember correctly, by 3. If you stay long enough, you're gonna get to the point where everybody will start blowing stuff out for $1. Some people, like the vendor here, she'll start blowing stuff out like at a quarter. It's crazy. And that's when people start flooding in. So you can definitely find some good deals. Most of the good stuff's already picked over already. By me, I hope. So we'll get some decent stuff here to put up on eBay. McDonald's toys, or Happy Meal, or any kids meal toys. They don't do that good, unfortunately. If you get them really cheap, you can probably bundle them up and sell them in big lots. But there's really not any kids, meal toys that do really well that I've had success with, or I'm familiar with. I mean, I did recently sell the whole collection of McDonald's Mac of the Night. I think I have one more collection left, but I found a whole bunch of them, and I was able to put together 2 complete sets. And I sold one set for 40 bucks, and I'm still sitting on another set. But it's taking a while to sell. Oh, I thought this DVD was in there. It's one of my favorite movies. It's Double Take. It's with Eddie Griffin and the other guy. I never remember his name, but he's from the old 7-Up commercials. But the movie's Double Take. I haven't been able to find it on a streaming service, but it's a really funny movie, one of my favorites. And I was hoping it was there in DVD, but no. I just spotted it there, and I'm like, yeah, oh. I find a book, a DVD case a little bit later, and actually I think it's right there. I'm going to start looking at it, but probably a needle in a haystack. And we're checking out some jewelry now. We moved on a little bit from Lupez. I went ahead and got my stuff, paid for everything. We're going to do pretty good on that stuff. You'll see everything, again, that I purchased in the recap. But I want to move on to the other section here of the flea market that's only open during Thursdays and the weekends. Well, on the weekends there's actually another section even opened up, but this part usually isn't open Wednesdays and Fridays. And this one, there's some cool stuff here, some cool jewelry. You see that Coach purse sitting there. I'm not really familiar with it, with this, with this vendor here. Don't usually buy too much from, so I'm going to be kind of cautious. And I probably won't buy, I'm definitely not going to buy that design, that Coach purse. I don't know. I just don't know. Is it legit? Is it not legit? It looks legit to me, but I don't know. The funny thing too is I've seen that statue. I think it's a Mozart statue. I've seen that Mozart statue before, and that, from a Goodwill as well too. Scanning. This vendor here actually kind of threw me off, and I didn't know he was the same guy. I didn't know he was the same vendor that I bought stuff from before, but he's on the other side of the flea market on the other days. And at first it didn't click that it was him, the same guy that I bought stuff from before. I bought that divers depth gauge. I bought all those what do you call it, Apple AirPods from. But now it's like, all right, he's over here too. So I got to keep that in mind, like on Thursdays or on the weekends, that he's out here on this side. I should come out to visit him to see what he has, because he offers great prices on stuff. Oh, that was messed up. I thought there was a camera in there, and I lifted it up, and it was open on the bottom. Oh. There's a bunch of cassette tapes, probably for that JVC portable camera there. As we say, a doy moment. Doggone it. Of course, got to clean up after yourself. You don't want to make a mess, and then have to leave it there for everybody. Leave it there for the vendor to clean up, or even at the Goodwill. If you drop something, you want to try to help clean the situation up. I'm getting out of there after I just dropped all that. And we're gonna come back to this guy over in the corner. This vendor here, they kind of operate. There's a couple of vendors here, and they coordinate their efforts. Always have a lot of activity. I also see them there on Sundays, and not in this section, but in another section. And they check eBay, so they know what the prices are, and they'll look it up on the fly, just like we do. There was that computer there. Now, I didn't get the whole video from there. I don't know why I wasn't recording the whole time there, but that computer you saw me look at there, I ended up finding that the next day, and it was only $15. That video for that one where I bought that already came out, but I only spent $15 for that whole computer. I wanted to buy it that day, but I think they wanted $40 for it, if I remember correctly. someone even said it goes for $300 online, which it does not go for $300 online. Another piece of advice is, if there's vendors are telling you how much it goes for on eBay, how much it goes for online, don't really believe them. Do your own research, because obviously they're trying to get the most money for their stuff, and they might not have the most up-to-date information. I'm not, saying it's wrong that they do that. I'm just saying do your own homework. And the people I buy from regularly, I've never heard them say that. It's just some of the vendors I don't buy from regularly. I see once in a while. They'll usually buy, well, that goes for, $200 online. Okay, but I'm going to do my own research and see. And I'll in the recap, you'll see I did buy a motherboard, and we'll go over some more details on that. Taking a look here, looking at some jewelry, some video games. Now I'm kind of circling back, and I'm going up and down the aisles. I'm looking at everything. I have a little more time this day, so I'm going to spend a little bit more time at the flea market, checking out the different vendors and that I didn't visit on my rush just to get to the ones that do have good stuff. Or that I shouldn't say do have good, but that I know will have good stuff. This guy here was real nice. I've seen here before. I probably paid a little bit too much here. I mean, I know I definitely paid too much. It's probably only worth what I paid for it. But it's actually a Byzantine coin from, well, the Byzantine Empire is also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. The Eastern Roman Empire was established.
Somebody tell me that's not real, so I don't want to sell it. Somebody said that.
Well, I quickly looked that up to give you the exact dates, because I never remember dates. But their capital city, which a lot of people will probably be familiar with, was founded by the Emperor Constantine. And the city was known as Constantinople. I'm a huge history guy. If you guys,
I'll think about that.
If you guys don't know by now, but I'm a huge fan of history, and I think I'm gonna buy this coin. I'm gonna buy it for myself, so I don't really necessarily mind, paying maybe what it goes for, paying a little bit over, just because it's something I'm gonna keep.
I'm gonna get it for myself, but it's pretty cool. I'm gonna get it for myself. International.
I sold wood tattoo models.
And for those of you that are familiar with John Constantine, you're probably more familiar with the fact that he pretty much made Christianity the religion of the empire. At that point, the Eastern Roman Empire was a lot stronger than the Western Roman Empire. Matter of fact, Rome ended up falling. I forget the dates, but Rome fell, and the Eastern Empire remained.
Or maybe it's mine because
Eventually, the western part of Rome, ended up,
I know. You just get piles up.
they ended up becoming. That's where the Pope, the Pope, and Catholic became Catholic. That's the Catholic Christians, and then the Eastern ended up, becoming, I guess, what we consider, generally speaking, of course, what we consider Orthodox.
That's all that is pretty interesting. You have so many numbers there. Very cool pieces. Maybe not all.
They show me some other stuff here, and I'm interested. I mean, I definitely I would like to develop more relationships with a lot more vendors here, and give me an opportunity to buy, and eventually in the future, negotiate, get better prices on some of this stuff. I'm not a big coin guy, and he appears to have a lot of coins here, and
Look at the key holder, like
generally coin people think that their coin stuff is worth much money. A lot of it, you really got, and a lot of it's tied up in the condition and all that. So he said just go through the stuff here, and there's a lot of little pewter figures. Oh, I'm looking here on Wiki. For those of you that are interested, here it says where is that? The Eastern Roman or the Byzantine Empire. Constantine the First, 324 to 337 was his reign, and reorganized the empire, making Constantinople the capital, and legalized Christianity. So that is your history lesson for the day, and that's one of the reasons why I'm keeping that coin, because I love history, and more specifically ancient history. So and I think that's kind of cool to have something from that time period. Checking out the other coins. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a coin person. And
How much you want for the
coin people here will ask $30.
30?
This is Uxin. You've seen me buy their wallets and everything, and their little coin purses. This is something that's older, and this is just like a little key holder. I'm gonna take it. I might have probably paid too much for it. Again, I'm trying to just build up, rapport, familiarity with him.
Me too. I like watches. I don't.
Or just just being friendly, just develop a friendship, so that way, in the future, if I do see anything here, I'm like, how's it going? And I might be able to get a better deal on some stuff. I'm probably not getting a good deal right now. You may be taking advantage of me, but I don't have fun with it. I'm not sure why my camera's getting wongo here. Probably because it has stabilization. I'm not sure. I think the problem is I'm trying to go through the bin, and it's just rocking back and forth on my what do you call it? Fanny pack. So, well, there's some cool stuff here. Definitely I'm seeing some value. You'll see in my cart there that Asus box. That's a motherboard I'm buying. It's actually not an Asus board. I think it's more of a valuable board. I can't find any comps on the boards that are in there, but I'll show you in the recap. And it's an A-bit. The company's A-bit, and it's a Fatality motherboard. If you're familiar with gaming back in the day, Fatality was one of the biggest gamers.
Coaches from USA, right? Yeah. Coaches USA.
Became really popular with
this watch is
Unreal
Swiss.
tournaments.
Swiss or Germany.
And he has some watches here. He's asking just a little bit too much. But they are cool watches. I do like to sell watches. I just recently purchased an automatic watch. It'll come out. I didn't video where I purchased it because I got it in an estate sale. But I'll show you in a recap. And I got an automatic watch. 25 jewel watch.
You got
And I'm still researching. But generally, I don't buy too many automatic watches. So I'm not super familiar with those. I generally buy watches, battery operated quartz watches that will range from $20 to $100. I like Swatch. Swatch is a great brand. It sells incredibly well.
Been here at the flea market.
Always in style. 1, 2, 3. So I do like to buy and sell a lot of swatches. 45.
Anyways, the bank is full.
And I find a lot of swatches over at Savers.
Well, I only have 45. So don't think I can buy the watch.
And they're usually really good prices.
So I'll take this for sure.
Below $3 a watch.
How much? You said how much on this one? Is that $3? Okay, yeah.
And I always keep batteries in stock. So make sure if you are dealing with watches, make sure you get a good supply of watch batteries, because it'll come in handy and you can quickly test it out. I really like this watch. It's a really cool watch, but I just don't want to.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cool, thank you.
Yes. See me thinking about it. I'm definitely debating whether.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I just felt his asking price was just a little bit, you know. I didn't want to get too crazy. I didn't want to be taken advantage of too much. Confirm my suspicions. And yeah, sure. I should have. I really should have tried to get a better price. But maybe in the future, we will be able to do some more business together, and I can get more competitive prices that way I can make a profit. I don't know, but maybe he's buying at a price point where that's the prices he's offering me are the best that he can do to make money as well too. So I have that in the back of my mind as well. I just can't negotiate him down to a point where he's not making any money. That's not good. We all should be making money somewhere along the line in all these deals and transactions. And as you can see over here to the right, it's just a lot of. I tend to kind of just sail through here because, as you can see over there, just a lot of stuff. Just they probably get it from Alibaba or something. AliExpress, and that's where you can get a lot of AliExpress. You can get a lot of Chinese-made products in bulk. You get a lot of party supplies. Think back in the day, like the Oriental Trading Company. You used to get like tons of party favors, party supplies, and you could buy it just in bulk. That's what I see in my head when I see those vendors there. Just doubling up, I'm just checking that coin really quick, see if I hit a home run possibly, but. Nope, exactly what I was thinking. I paid too much for. I mean, if it was worth something like $200 or $300, I would resell it. But no, it's just going to the collection. This section here is one of the first aisles. This is one of the first aisles of this flea market. I just don't. When I first start my flea market run, I never really come down this aisle because the aisle, the furthest point here in this aisle is near the front. But where it is near the front, there's hardly any vendors there. So I would have to walk, half a section of no vendors to get over here. And I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to buy and put on eBay. So I don't want to waste my time walking through a section with no vendors just to get over here when I can go a little bit further down and see the people I usually see and buy. This vendor here is fairly new. I really haven't seen them that often. I don't see them here that often, and I only just started seeing them there. Nothing really that great to pick up there yet, but it has potential, and it appears they're negotiable. So I would probably see. This is like I'm walking back towards the front, and this is that other half section. Just people parked with their cars, people loading, unloading, just empty, just dead here. So I really don't want to walk through here just in the beginning. I'll walk through here towards the end, just so I can cross over to the other side of the flea market. I'm gonna cut through here. All right, we're gonna do a walkthrough and just kind of just check everybody else out that I passed up as I was heading to my usual vendors. I mean, it was a cool day today, but when that sun is out there just beating down on you, oh man, it can really take a toll on your shopping experience. Alright, we got bikes over here to the right. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of this flea market? Do you guys have similar flea markets? You guys think I'm pulling good stuff or not good stuff? You can comment down below. Thumbs up. Appreciated. This guy here, he's not here all the time, but sometimes he'll have as you can see right there, a U-line box. He'll have supplies, shipping supplies. And I thought I might be able to use those foam pouches, but exit sign, miscellaneous cables and tools and Alright, so let's see another vendor over here. I used to buy a lot of stuff from her, but the stuff she's been getting hasn't really been very good. Matter of fact, what's kind of interesting is the other day I was here, another video will come out, and I discovered actually they moved a lot of the stuff that the stuff from the table that was just at, which is where they would usually put some of the hard good items, electronics. They moved it in more. So I'm like, oh, is that where it's been the whole time? So it kind of threw me off. Primarily sells clothes, and I'm not much of a clothes buyer. So next time I'm around, I'm gonna have to check that out. Alright, we're at another vendor here. I usually don't find that much great stuff here. I have in the past, but again, as of late, it just hasn't been that good. I was going to buy that rolly bag until I saw a company name on it. And generally, if it has a company name on it, it better be a really good brand or a company name that really, it's really well known for it to be resellable. But I didn't recognize the name at all. Definitely going to do my research here while I'm here looking at stuff, because they will charge quite a bit for their items, and I kind of want to know at what price point things are selling at, so that way I can negotiate. They are negotiable, so I want to be sure I have the appropriate numbers in mind, so that way I don't overpay. And again, you will learn as you start going to flea markets. And I say flea markets primarily because garage sales, you never know if you're going to end up at the same garage sale or not. Goodwills typically aren't really negotiable. Flea markets, you can negotiate here. So you'll learn who's negotiable, who's not. You'll see a lot of the same vendors every week or every day. It'll allow you to make the appropriate decisions, so that way you can make a profit on eBay. We're not doing this to not make any profit. I want to make something. And everybody knows, I always say it, I like to be at about $15 to $20 profit on items. However, if I'm buying in bulk, I kind of change. I kind of look at the overall, the value of the items in bulk as opposed to each individual item. And so when I'm at the flea market, that's usually what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the bulk buy. I'm thinking about the total price of everything and how much I can make on that. Everything combined. Because also too, you also got to think of, you also have to think of, your listings. Are you going to be able to have enough items here so you can list on a daily basis? Because it is very important to list and keep your eBay store active. And in one of those ways to keep it active is by listing, by having items to list. Whether you believe in it or not, you have to keep your store active. Some people will say you don't have to list daily, but it's good to have a store. You just look at stores at the mall and stuff like that. Which stores get the most traffic? The ones that have the most activity. Be it restocking or be it putting up new items. Just think of your store in that manner. What stores do you walk into? What makes those stores more appealing? Obviously, you want to have good items at resale, you want to have items that people are actually looking for. But also, too, you want to have a store that's fresh, it's new. And like, this kind of cool Russian hat. Had a bunch of pins on it. It looked interesting. I know I can make money on it. I'm just... in hindsight, I might have jumped the gun on it. But I think I was seeing other hats probably about $20 to $30. I might have paid a little bit. I might have paid up for it too much, but I think it'll sell. I think I can still make some money. I think I can still be at my at least on my $15 profit on that item, on that hat. I think it's cool enough. I'll sell it with all the pins and get it moving here. Otherwise, that's the end of the flea market trip for me. I'm heading out. I'm walking out. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I tend to, as I'm moving through the flea market, one thing that I don't realize that I'm actually getting hungry. I'll start to see the deals, start buying, seeing things I like, and I'll end up kind of forgetting about eating and drinking. And then when I start to as things start to wind down, as I start to see less deals, less items out there that I'm interested in buying, like, oh man, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting thirsty. I forgot to bring my water. And here they do have a snack bar here because it's also a what do you call it, movie. It's also a drive-in. But also too, I don't want to fill up with junk food either. I don't really want to have soda, although soda's really good. With a bunch of ice loaded up in it. But that's not really good for you. So I prefer to have water, but I left my water at home. So I'm gonna head on home and get something to eat and start working on listing. We're getting another video going. I gotta get my listings done. We're gonna cut over to the recap and you'll see what I bought to resell on eBay, because that's where we primarily put our items. Okay, everybody, welcome to the recap here. So we're gonna go ahead and go over all the stuff we bought here. We didn't get too much, and that's okay because I got tons of stuff that needs to be processed. You don't see it all in this shot here, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to get processed around here that we got to work to get out. So, without further ado, let's get on to this. Trying to see what should be a good. There we go. Yeah. All right. So this was toward the end of the video. You saw this Soviet hat. I saw some with lesser pins around the $20 to $30-ish range. So I'm hoping maybe I have some rarer pins on here. They appear to be maybe like Olympics. Some of them. Like here's looks like a skiing or cross country skiing one there. So I'm hoping to get at least $30, maybe $40 out of this is what I'm hoping for. Remember, I'm hoping for that. It's going to be listed value. Then this guy here, this is the fire. I mean, I just know I've sold a bunch of these. This should be probably about $40, $40, $45-ish. For this guy here, maybe a little bit, maybe towards the $40 because I'm going to sell it as open box. But it is still sealed in the plastic on the inside, so that's good. And then I got a bunch of wallets. You know, I like to buy wallets. You didn't see all the wallets actually in the video, or I don't think I featured them all in the video, but I think you guys saw this one. This is a Hobo. This is more like a clutch. This is like a clutch wallet. It's a Hobo International, and it unbuttons like that. So it has the two magnets underneath the leather. Then it folds out just like that. It's got the change up here, and of course the Hobo logo in there. So, and then keys. It's got an old style little clip there. So a vintage Hobo wallet. It's got a very 70s vibe to it, 70s, 60s. Really cool. I'm going to list this for probably about $40 just because it does have quite a bit of wear. I'm not going to do too much to it other than make sure it's dusted off. I just don't want to do any damage to it. And I'll take all the pictures. And hopefully we get about close to $40 for that wallet. Then we got a little Fossil. This is just a Fossil wallet, coin purse, and it has a little keychain in there. So just a little Fossil coin purse, probably about 15 bucks. Really cool, just a small little Fossil guy. Fossil stuff does really well, so do look out for that. We do have another Fossil right here. This is a little bit more modern, a little bit more involved of a wallet. Flip it over there. Red genuine leather. Fold out, and then this one also has the fold out right there too. So plenty of room for cards, cash. This one does not have a coin. Yeah. Oh yeah, it does have a coin. Here it is. It's a coin pouch right on there. That's it. So a nice red Fossil. This one I'm going to price about $30. Try to get that out the door for 30 bucks. That'll be a nice buy. Another Hobo. This one also too, just a little wear and tear on this one. Green leather. Again, you can really tell Hobo by the type of leather they use. It's a really soft leather on most of their products. And look at that one, how that one folds out. It's nice green, almost like a, to me it kind of looks like an anaconda green. So got the for the cash in there and everything too. Definitely has wear from previous owner, where it came from. Cards or coins go in there. So a cool wallet there. This one, this other wallet I have here is a Dooney and Burke. I'm still trying to find a comparable on there. So I don't. From what I can tell, it should be like $30 to $40 for this guy. But I want to find a comparable, just kind of match it up, make sure it's authentic. So just a nice. It's got like the suede on the inside and the nice leather on the outside. So just a nice wallet here. So really cool. Actually, I don't even know 100% if this is actually a wallet. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a wallet, but it has like these straps right here that kind of unclip. And then it has the, right here, I guess you put your money in here. You would put your money or your dollar bills in this pocket here. And then, so it has like some almost hidden compartments, and then change going this bottom one down here. So pretty cool, nice wallet. I still got to do a little more research on this, find comparable to compare it to. Then I picked up a belt buckle. I do really well selling belt buckles. I don't find them too often, or when I do find them, they're usually priced up. National Rifle Association belt buckle. Probably like $10 to $15 for this guy. Made in the USA. It is pewter, so belt buckles do really well if you can get a good price for them. Then we got a few bags here. You didn't see this one on camera. I grabbed this really quick. This is a, there you'll see, here we go. Republic, you'll see Republic of Gamers. That's from a company called Asus. That's some of their branding they use. And this is just a laptop bag. Just a high-end kind of laptop bag. Should go for probably around $40. I'm going to post it for $40, open up offers. It is a large pack, so it could probably fit. This could fit up to like a 17-inch laptop. So it's geared towards gamers, geared towards their Republic of Gamers series, which are just higher-end products, higher-end laptops, gamer laptops. So they'll have, graphics card in them, high-end Intel or AMD processor, and this would probably be like a free gift along with that to carry it. But goes for good money, goes pretty decently. So it's an Asus Republic of Gamers laptop bag. Okay, then you guys saw the coach. This is a vintage coach. And again, that should sell anywhere between $60 to $100. It's got plenty of wear. It's not, it's not in the best of shapes. It is still a desirable brand, desirable style, but it's got plenty of wear and tear on it. Doesn't really smell. Thought there was a smell, but no. But really cool. Vintage. It will make some good money on this guy here. Just nice, thick, like biker style leather. This here was interesting. This I picked up at Lupe Station. This is a Carlos Santana bag. At first I thought maybe my wife would like it, but she didn't really like it. So I thought it was interesting. I've never seen Carlos Santana bags. I didn't even know he, made bags. Here it is right here. So it has like the original tags and everything, but this has definitely been used before. There may or may not be staining in there. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think there's definitely staining in there. So it might need a little bit of cleaning. It's not like a real leather or anything like that. So not a very high-end purse, but hopefully we should still get about $20 to $30 on that guy. So we will see. But the highlight of the trip right here was this motherboard I got. And of course, you guys know I like to buy motherboards. So this is the motherboard. Again, you see that company I was talking about, Asus. Where's it? Oh, right here. Asus. So this is another one of their lines. Actually, you see the Republic of Gamers. This is the Maximus Extreme. But the motherboard here is not the Asus motherboard. So this is, let me open this up really quick. This is actually an A-bit. I don't know if that company's still around or not. They're still making motherboards. But they used to back in the day. And they actually partnered with a a gamer, before, a lot of these modern Twitch gamers came out. There was a guy, I forget what his real name is, but he went by, you'll see that Fatality with the 1 in there. So he went by, that was his call sign, went by Fatality, or his nickname, and that's the motherboard right there. It looks practically brand new, and has that brand new motherboard smell. Motherboards have or maybe circuit boards have a very distinct smell when they're brand new. So everything looks great on this. It has all the accessories in the box. Someone probably, I don't even know. I don't know why they would probably upgrade. I mean, Asus is technically, in my opinion, a more reputable brand. So maybe they got both motherboards, and this one they just threw in there because they're switching to the Asus anyway. But I don't think this has ever really been used, and if it was only used for a short amount of time. There's no dust on it, nothing you would expect from a used motherboard that's been in a system. So it's in great condition. It has the Fatality branding. It's an 8-bit motherboard. It's a higher-end motherboard. It supports what's called SLI. That was by NVIDIA. And it basically, you plug in 2 graphics cards in here for better performance. But most of the time, it didn't really translate to better performance. You needed updates. Some games just refuse to run on SLI. So, needless to say, that technology, well, it's not, I mean, it's still around. It's just not widely used anymore. Not too many people are doing dual graphics cards that much anymore, especially with the power consumption they take nowadays. But this would have been a very high-end motherboard back in the day. So I think, I can't find these comps on this one, but just based on what I've sold before, because I've sold this, so I haven't sold an 8-bit motherboard before, and I haven't sold a Fatality motherboard before. But the platform is an Intel. The socket is LG775, and I have sold those before in the past. Not high-end motherboards, but it was a very when this platform for Intel came out, they were technically losing the battle they have with AMD. AMD and Intel both compete for CPUs, or central processing units. And AMD at the time was very strong. They had a great product, and Intel's just weren't. I mean, again, we're talking about people that gamers or tinkerers or computer builders. So when I'm building a computer, I notice certain nuances about CPUs and graphics cards, and I may be like just a little bit slower, which in the real world doesn't really translate to that much. I mean, the Intel processors of that day weren't bad, but AMD's technically were better processors at that time. So when Intel came out with their Core 2 Duo processors, and they went on the LGA 775 socket, that just, they put themselves a mile ahead of AMD in the race, the speed race, basically the speed efficiency race for processors. And so the LG 775 is, pretty well regarded as a turning point for Intel. And a lot of people at that period converted over to Intel. I converted over to Intel and was building just Intel processors up until AMD came out with AMD Ryzen processors. Then they started to eat away at Intel's lead, and now AMD has kind of gained the lead again, and Intel is back. Is falling back a little bit, but they'll come back. It's a constant up and down struggle. But either way, a little bit of history. Again, guys, I like history, and I like technology, and I like gaming, building computers, and all that. Which is why that when I see something like this, that gets me excited, and then I start looking for more tech, more stuff out there. So I don't know if I said it or not after I went on that long little rant or history lesson, whatever. I'm going to list this for $150, open up an offer, and see what happens. The last few that I've sold of this platform have sold relatively quickly, and by relatively quickly, I mean within about 3 weeks. And I'm anticipating the same for this one. So, that is it. That is the end of the video. It's going to be a long... There, I figured it out. I couldn't get it closed correctly. End of the video, guys. I hope you guys like the video. I hope you appreciate the content. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Definitely check out my shorts. I'm doing about 3 shorts a day with highlights, certain products that I want to feature in those videos. And like today, I posted there was a digital camera that you should be looking out for. I got a really cool automatic watch, and what else? I think a tablet is what I'm going to post out. I'll post a little bit later. So I do post just key events or key products to feature in the shorts to be on the lookout for. Bolos, I guess you can say. But I appreciate the thumbs up. If you guys have any comments down below, any questions, you can leave them down below. My Instagram will be linked down below as well too. You can also DM me there. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.